Holy crap, I can't believe I'm back. Yet another VHS Ripping vlog, weekly update number 2. Let's do it. Today's theme is depression, regrets, and neural nets. So this episode is going to start out a little boring, a little bit of navel gazing, then hopefully we'll slide into something pretty cool. And about the 45-minute mark, we're going to have some snacks, so stay tuned for that. And what's going to make this episode particularly special is I'm going to do a really good job of looking like I'm not reading off a teleprompter. I think those improv classes are really paying off. So without further ado, let's get to my awesome new graphic intro. Oh yeah, that's right. My disappointment of a son hasn't completed it yet. Maybe I'll have it next time. And finally, today's episode is brought to you by the letter N. N as in NordVPN has still not contacted me about sponsoring this wonderful web series. They will be considered a tool of the deep state and trash until proven otherwise. So let's recap from last week, like have an emotional recovery. So as I was organizing my tapes last week, I kind of let on to all of you that I thought maybe a few tapes had been thrown away. But after all the accounting was done, everything was tallied, 49 tapes, 49 were pitched into the landfill. I mean, jeebus. It's emotionally jarring. And also, I want to send a little apology out to my high school friend, Moishi. Sorry, man. The only way you're going to be able to relive your bar mitzvah is through your memories. And as of now, I have 123 tapes left to scan. You know, this week I was going to go through the hardware, all the tape machines, and show you how everything was like hooked up and get scanning. But I now realize I have to deal with the scans I already have, and I started to kind of panic. And when I panic, I normally give up, but however, I think this week I'm getting a little creative. One thing that was a relief is most of the tapes that I did throw away, I do have a copy or scan of them right now in my archive. They were all done, scanned using state-of-the-art VCRs, and they've been captured and stored at the right pixel resolution. However, scanning in analog VCR tapes is more complex than just the right VCRs and the right resolution. It is more complex than that. So I believe I have the perfect analogy to kind of tell you where I'm at in this whole scanning project. So let's take Giles Martin. Of course, he is the son of famed music producer and fifth Beatle, George Martin. Well, Giles in the past 5 years has been charged with remastering the entire Beatles collection for their 50th anniversary reissues. Now, for this project, do you think he went back to the original rips done in the 80s by some coked up EMI audio engineer? No, he did not. He went back to the original tapes made in the 60s, rescanned them, extracted all that goodness to make the perfect reissues. And right now, with my 49 missing tapes, I've robbed myself of the same experience Giles is having with the Beatles reissues. So the reality is 49 tapes are missing, which is horrible, but I do have scans of them. And so let's go over the workflow I used 10 plus years ago to scan in those tapes. And first we'll go into the VCRs, and there I scored. I had 2 Panasonic AG 1980s. They are considered back then and now the gold standard of what you use to scan in VCR tapes. I bought 2 of them from Craigslist for about $200 a piece. They were cream puff, like they were only driven by a Lutheran minister on Sundays. Amazing quality. I scored there. That's good. So now we go into the device I used to scan in those tapes, and that's where things kind of go off the rails. The device was great at the time, they say, but it had a chip in there from manufactured by the Dutch company Philips. And basically, you have a Dutch engineer from Philips. Let's call him Paulus. And Paulus, this is in the early 90s. He probably raves all night, and he plays water polo, I'm sure, all that pretentious Euro crap. And and he's reading the specification for the MPEG 2, and he's deciding what quality comes out of this encoder. He's like, you Americans, you're not very smart, you're fat, you're lazy. I will decide how this video is compressed and what you'll get out on the other side. So it goes through there, and it compresses it down, and the file sizes are nice, 5 times less the size, but it's making a lot of choices about how the file looks and what information it takes out before it gets to disk. And so that's where we're at. We have files that have been stripped of a lot of vital information for archiving purposes, and that's where we're at. But however, I've not touched those files since then. No more processing. So maybe we can do something to recover some of the quality out of those files. So before we go on, I'm going to show you a quick example of comparing when you capture more correctly and when you go through the workflow I used 10 years ago and what the problems could be.
Shalom, Kippy.
In this clip, we're toggling between video quality every second. Notice change in detail on Paul's shirt.
What song would you like to request today?
Yesh li chaver b'Yerushalayim. I have a friend in Jerusalem.
I hope you found that interesting. By the way, I had to cut the clip short, but what's interesting is after the song, Kippy and Paul, they had a roundtable and they discussed the Iron Dome and if the United States should help fund that or not. It's a very interesting and nuanced conversation, and who knew that Paul Schaefer is such a hawk in Israel? So this is the reality that I live in. For all the 49 tapes that are missing, all I have are these scans. I have to do what I can to up the quality of those tapes post-processing. So I need to consider all technologies, however radical, to put in my pipeline to increase the quality of those scans. So for years here at CalMix HQ, we've been experimenting with how to improve the quality of our VHS scans. This is not our first time on the radio. I mean, we've experimented with all these filters for denoising, deinterlacing, upscaling, all stuff like that. And, you know, we've had various degrees of success deploying all those techniques. But this week, the peeps in the lab, they went nuts and they did a deep dive into AI and neural net technology to see what was available. And I want to share with you some of those results right now. We're going to do it. We're going to reanimate Skipper. You may remember last week I played this Alan Hale Jr. classic commercial. Well, this is one of the tapes, unfortunately, that was lost in a dustbin of history. As this week was the 75th anniversary of the premiere of Gilligan's Island, I decided to see what I could do to clean up this source material. I want to give the Skipper the burial at sea he deserves. So after we deinterlaced the whole video, we ran every frame through two state-of-the-art neural networks called GANs, or Generative Adversarial Networks. One network focuses on faces, and the other focuses on upraising everything else. And then on top of all of that, we sprinkled on some noise to kind of give it a more natural effect. Normally, these GANs are used for individual old photos to reconstruct them, but we want to see how well they'd work on video. So let's see how it looks.
Hey, little buddy, if I'd known about Malibu, Subaru, and Marine and Glendale, we'd have never been shipwrecked on that island. They carry Wellcraft, Chris-Craft, Mark Twain, Checkmate, Sun Cruiser pontoons, and Tahiti Caribbean jet boats. And we'd have saved money, too. Listen, little buddy, reliability and huge savings. You got that? From now on, it's Malibu, Subaru, and Marine and Glendale. Remember, if you didn't shop at Malibu, you paid too much.
So, what do you think? Better or worse? I'll tell you what, I'm going to regret asking you to do this, but if you have any comments, leave in the video. We can discuss, you know, what the deal is, good or bad, whatever. So now we're going to go to another video, apply the same techniques. This is one from 1996 that I have on VHS tape. That's one of my lost collection, and we can see how well it can fix that also. So let's give it a whirl.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason Lively.
And I'm Lori Litt.
And this is WebWired.
Welcome to WebWired Cyberspace. For any business in the world these days, it's no longer a question of whether or not you're going to have an internet presence, it's when are you going to do it. There seem to be a lot of roadblocks in determining how to establish business websites and what to put on them. Our first guest today is Mike March, President of Internet Direct.
Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Man, I wonder what happened to that dashing young entrepreneur. I hope he found happiness. Anyways, I'm going to post a link to a longer version of that video. It'll show you more of the process and how successfully it up-resed it. And you also have the opportunity to see Rusty from European Vacation, see how he took his Hollywood success and parlayed it into bigger things. It's going to be interesting. So in the past week, as we've been experimenting with these neural nets, we found out not everything goes as well as we would like. If you are sleepy right now and the coffee isn't working for you, watch a few seconds of this video and it'll give you that shot of adrenaline you probably need. Keep in mind that the source material is tiny and noisy. It doesn't give the neural nets a lot of information to figure out what the picture should look like. And it produces an effect that we like to call here uncanny value of the sun. Let's give it a look.
Good evening. Vandals today broke off the stalk of a yucca plant near downtown Phoenix that many people have believed is shaped as a religious image. People have been flocking to the site outside a Mexican restaurant in East Van Buren since word of the image got around. A dead yucca bloom curved into what many believe is the shape of the Virgin Mary. Today, though, the candles, rosaries, and flowers still surrounded the plant.
All right, it's time to wrap this thing up. Again, we're going to end every video with some stats and track our progress. So first, let's go over the fact that, again, 49 tapes are scanned, but they're lost to the dustbin. So there we go. 123 tapes are left to scan, have no scanning at all. 6 tapes are missing. I didn't go over that before, but 6 have been inventoried over the past 20 years. Cannot find them. That's a little scary, so we'll have to track those down, hopefully. 25 tapes I have not been inventoried ever, so I don't know what they are. Or again, that will be gone over next in the next video. And we've done 0 new scans since we started this project. So hopefully by next video that will change too. Again, since I'm shaming myself, might as well add my weight. So I weighed in today at 197.5 pounds. And okay, we're really gonna end it this time, I swear. So let's go over what your duties are every week. First of all, if you have not, you gotta follow me on Twitter. It's fun. Second of all, you gotta like star or whatever you do on GitHub, do it there too. But most importantly, if you've not done it, you have to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. And I think there's a bell thing too, so please do that. So again, that is all. I'll see you next week, I swear. Thanks.